Hey guys, and welcome to another Otome Game Jam game. This one is called Deadly Desires, Love Starved. And I gotta say, I booted this thing up. I've had this game on for maybe 5 minutes or more, just listening to the music. It is nice. Anyway, so this story follows a volunteer for Limbo's pioneering Project Salvation program. You have been assigned a struggling soul to supervise and steer towards a suitable plane of existence. Loni is the main character. You can rename them and pick your pronouns. Is a lonely human lost in limbo. They have failed to achieve enlightenment alone. But with your souls synchronized, you can explore all possible outcomes together. Will you guide Loni to the light or lead you both down a darker path? There are no wrong answers. Exploration is within the spirit of the exercise, and the administrators will be monitoring your progress. So, you step into the neon-soaked streets of Arcadia, a dystopian district of Limbo, home to the notorious escort service Deadly Desires. Like many in Limbo, Loni is a regular client of the service, though has only ever hired performers for the sake of company. Fake friends are better than being alone, after all. But when Loni's favorite escort is unavailable, a snap decision to book a surprise package leaves Loni with much more than she bargained for. This is fully voice acted, if I remember correctly. So the demo features 17,000 words about. So if you want to experience everything in the demo, it's about 2 hours of game time. There are various choices and 7 different endings. So there are 6 bad and 1 good ending. It's got original sprites, backgrounds, and CG art. It has a full original soundtrack, 18 tracks, including a vocal track. Full English voice acting. You can pick the name and pronouns, like I said earlier. And you can choose a narration style. So you can self-insert yourself, or you can do a detached observer where they use the name you chose. So there are warnings, because this is a horror romance game. It contains the following. It has assault, bad language, blood and injury, bright lights, disturbing behavior, death, dubious consent, flashing and shaking images, minor gore, and some suggestive, but visually safe for work scenes. So it says, please note there is one scene in the demo which features sexually suggestive content. However, it is represented in written word and audio only. All right, let's start. This will be fun. I'm always down for voice acted stuff. During your participation in Project Salvation, you may encounter some mature themes depending on your choices. Oh, okay. See, it has the warnings and triggers, so just go over them again. Again, if this is not something you want, do not continue watching. And I will link the page in the description like I always do. Moving backgrounds. Okay. Okay, we'll just see what happens.
Hello, operator.
Hello.
Before we connect you to your assigned administrator, please select the voice you would prefer them to use when conversing with you.
Okay.
Greetings, operator.
Please confirm voice selection.
Greetings, operator.
Please confirm voice selection.
Let's go with the male.
Greetings, operator.
Male sounding voice.
Selection confirmed. Establishing connection.
Greetings, honored operator, and welcome to Project Salvation. I am Administrator Epsilon. As you are new to the system, before you assume control of the soul selected to receive guidance, allow me a moment to explain how all of this works. The soul you will be steering momentarily is named Loni. You are permitted to change the given name if you so choose, and you are also allowed to insert yourself inside the entity if you feel it will aid your acclimation to its spirit. Either way, your aim is to monitor the soul's progress and gently guide it onwards towards the next most suitable plane of existence by whatever means you deem necessary.
Okay, I think I get it. Alright, I think
For
I
now,
understand
the soul in
now.
question will continue to exist in perpetuity within the confines of Limbo to enable you both to explore all available options. Though, of course, its ultimate destination will not be defined without an administrator's order. There may be moments in your shared journey where you feel the soul fighting to be in full authority of its actions. When these instances occur, the option to relinquish control will be presented to you. To allow it to act independently of your counsel, simply select its heart. However, we politely remind you that the soul has been selected for supervision specifically because it is struggling to attain enlightenment alone. Please use discretion when permitting autonomy. I will also warn you that while we appreciate your enthusiasm in volunteering for this most esteemed role, should the administrators deem your performance disappointing, we will not hesitate to replace you with a more capable operator.
Interesting.
When a conclusion is reached, I will ask you an all-important question. Your responses will be recorded for training purposes, so it's essential that you answer honestly. Now that you understand your position here, I shall proceed with the following survey to get you settled in. Firstly, do you wish to keep the name Loni for this soul, or replace it with an alternative?
Choose a new name. We're erasing your name and giving you mine.
Understood. While you are inhabiting the soul, which pronouns would you like it to be referred to by? Very well. And finally, do you wish to insert yourself within the soul, or remain a detached observer?
Self-insert, why not? Lessa as you. Got it. Yas.
Wonderful. Before we part ways, I must warn you that while steering your soul, you may hear it speak using a voice that is not your own, especially when delegating control to it. Understandably, this can cause some operators a degree of distress. If it alarms or displeases you in any way, note that you may mute your soul at any time by accessing your user controls. I shall now proceed to get you caught up with our world, while you synchronize with the soul. We will reconvene and review your progress once you reach the end of a thread. Goodbye, and good luck, operator.
Please pay attention to the following presentation. It is designed exclusively for you and contains the sentiment of your soul. When properly absorbed, it should aid you in immersing yourself within its worldview and situation. Upon reaching the presentation's conclusion, You will find yourself submerged within your soul's experience. Please, do not be alarmed. Once you successfully uncover the outcome of each path, the system will sever your connection and swiftly return you to this room for review. Your well-being is of the utmost priority, and so your vitals will be monitored continuously throughout your exploration to ensure your safety. Please confirm your participation so that we may proceed with our work.
I have no other choice.
Commencing Project Salvation. Subject, Loni. Active. Soul synchronization. Active. Acclimation initiating in 3, 2, 1.
Work in Limbo is a thankless task. One that slowly sucks the life out of you. If you can even consider yourself alive at all in such a place. It was designed that way to make things less complicated for the denizens who dwell there, caught somewhere between worlds. Upon arrival in this godforsaken place, an administrator swiftly assigned you a sentence to serve and a role to earn your way out. Things could have been worse. You could have been sent to Sanctuary Support Line, stuck with seemingly endless streams of calls to answer. But instead, you were designated cleaning crew, left to wander the many offices and outlets almost unnoticed. At first, you were filled with optimism, but as days diluted into murky months, depression began to creep in, gradually eroding your delusions of an entirely sane half-life here. Rest days are the worst. Work, as dull as it may be, provides some purpose in a world where you're otherwise drifting aimlessly through incarceration. But one, not entirely legal yet tentatively tolerated organization, strives to be the antidote to apathy, to breathe a little life back into Limbo's lost souls. With a strict ban on romantic relationships in the workplace, it was inevitable some entity would eventually rise from the darkest depths of desperation to provide that which all of us crave: love. And like everything else, it comes with a price. When a colleague gave you the number for Deadly Desires, you initially shrugged it off.
I'll be fine on my own. I don't need something so sleazy to get me through this.
But the longer you toiled, stuck, bored, and alone, the more appealing the idea of paying for companionship became. There was no shame in using their services. Everyone in Limbo does, one way or another. It was only a matter of time before you joined the masses in doing so yourself. Employees of Deadly Desires come in all shades of stimulating. From the cute and playful Kari crowding the role of house pet, their soft and fluffy fur providing comfort to those merely wishing to curl up and watch a cozy movie, to the intoxicating incubi with their endless stamina guaranteed to satisfy even the most insatiable of clientele. Whatever your fantasy might be, Deadly Desires will find a way to fulfill it, even offering snuff services to those yearning for a premature exit or the ultimate fetishized departure. Premium funeral packages included at an additional cost. Unfortunately for you, today is the beginning of a week-long break from your labor in Limbo, which means either banging your head against the walls of your apartment as a means to expel the Inu, or shelling out for another fake friend to keep you company. In the end, there is no real choice. The reality is you're already an addict like everyone else, clinging on to the faint hope that one day you might actually form a connection. But in a world where every soul seeks to conceal their secrets while waiting judgment, true love seems elusive, a distant reverie, out of reach and distorted by delusion. Alone in your apartment, you sigh at the thought of the week ahead of you and how expensive it's likely to be. You could spend it entirely alone, but that would be so boring that you can scarcely consider it. And so you choose to flick on your radio for company, shuffling to the kitchen where you brew your usual beverage of choice.
That was SSL's own Tava Tauride with Spellbound. And I'm your host with the most, Nico Jabari, with a quick news and weather update for all you eager Arcadians out there this evening. Strap in, folks, 'cause you're in for a bumpy ride. Oh, and to the anonymous gentleman caller who complained about our broadcast last night, we don't only cover the grim and the gory. In fact, just an hour ago, Nico received a steaming fresh scoop that we think you'll be very interested to hear. Your wife was spotted ordering an escort to your address last night while you were at work. I'm sorry to say it, my friend, but your neighbors complained no less than 10 times about the noise. So, maybe check your priorities before you start complaining about what Nico's up to, Alrighty. Now that we've covered the fluff for the night, let's get on with the serious part of the show, shall we? Bad omens continue for Deadly Desires as another 3 performers are reported missing since the end of last week. This came right after the alarming update earlier in the year that one absent client of the company was found abandoned in an alley minus her heart, while another was located wandering the streets, seemingly soulless. Patrons of Deadly Desires have voiced their concerns to the administrators regarding their safety in engaging with the service. In an interview with us yesterday, a client who wishes to remain anonymous expressed their fears that these attacks are targeted at both Deadly Desires employees and clients, rather than random acts of violence, as was previously assumed. A small number of residents taking an interest in the incidents have begun to theorize that the disappearances and assaults may be linked, and potentially even the work of an organized group aiming to destroy the Deadly Desires brand. In a statement from the administrators, it was made clear that no investigation is currently underway, and service users should engage with the company at their own discretion. They advise that all clients continue to undertake the usual precautions when booking performers, and remind the citizens of Arcadia as well as wider Limbo that Deadly Desires is not an officially sanctioned business. In other news, Pookie's Pizza has been forced to close its doors temporarily after receiving an order from food standards inspectors who rated the establishment a 1. Meaning immediate improvement in several areas is necessary before trade is allowed to resume. When approached for comment, Pookie claimed that the rating was unfair and proved that inspectors were on a witch hunt. Pookie assured us that the necessary improvements will be made swiftly, and Pookie's Pizza will be open for business as usual within the next week or so. Time now for a weather update with the wonderful Amaya. Amaya, what can we expect?
Well, Nico, the problems plaguing the weather system in Limbo's Arcadia sector still seem to be in play, and with no quick fixes in sight, citizens can expect showers of varying intensity over the course of the coming week. It shouldn't be a problem for those of you staying indoors, but if you're heading out, you might want to take an umbrella, as the rain shows no sign of stopping anytime soon. Other than that, it should be a relatively pleasant week temperature-wise, if a little humid thanks to the ongoing rain.
Well, that's a bummer. You would think maintenance would have worked their magic by now. I'm sure all the vamps out there will be thrilled to hear it, but no doubt the rest of us wouldn't mind a bit of sunshine. Right, let's get back to the music, shall we? Up next, we got the fabulous Scarlet Saints with their new hit number, Popcorn Panic. Enjoy.
That's quite enough of that. Sighing once again, you click the radio off, reaching for your phone as you trudge back to your living room.
Welcome to Deadly Desires, where we aim to fulfill any and all fantasies, or your money back. Please listen to the following options before making a selection. If you wish to request a specific talent, please press 1. If you want to hire a surprise escort, press 2. If you're interested in our special celebrations package, hit 3. If you require a funeral package with your experience, please press 4 and rest in peace. If you're calling to complain about our services, press 5 and be prepared to leave a convincing message. For any questions or queries, please hold, and an operator will be with you momentarily.
Let's do hold on. Can I save? I can't save on this. Okay. Surprise me.
Sorry, but all of our agents are currently busy.
I'm sorry.
We apologize for the inconvenience and request that you call back later, quoting all tied up. If you do, you'll be able to claim a free gift, which can be added to any one of our experiences. Thank you for choosing Deadly Desires for all your darkest dreams.
You can't help but grimace at the automated answer. I'm not sure a surprise is what I need right now anyways. I'll just request someone reliable instead. Okay, so I need to press 1. Actually, dang it. Do you know how tempting it is to press 4? I'm not gonna do it.
Greetings. Since you've selected option 1, did you have a particular performer in mind?
Yeah, I was hoping I might be able to book in with Romeo again.
Ah, Romeo, huh? Good choice. Unfortunately, he's unavailable right now.
That's a shame.
Indeed it is. I'm sure you're already well aware, but he's probably one of our most popular performers. It was a sad day for us all when we heard he was indisposed. With any luck, he'll be back at work soon. But in the meantime, I'm afraid I'm not permitted to make any bookings with him.
Well, that sucks.
I'm sorry, but there's honestly nothing I can do about it. If it makes you feel any better, I heard he was having some trouble down there.
Really? But he's an incubus. I thought they were always more than fine in that department. Anyways, I wasn't after him for that. I just wanted to hang out and watch a film or something.
Aw, well, isn't that just adorable? You know, I've heard some of the other agents mention folks like you, but I didn't think I'd ever meet one myself.
Folks like me?
Mm-hmm. The ones who call us for company. Don't get me wrong, by the way. I think it's utterly charming. Most of our clients are into the less innocent services we have on offer.
You can't help but shake your head in irritation at the Kari's ignorant assumptions.
Oh, don't be shy, sweetie. You know, you should at least try one of our more exotic packages someday. You might be pleasantly surprised.
Please don't try to upsell me on sex stuff. I'm really not interested in that kind of thing right now.
Suit yourself, sugar. You know, sometimes it's nice to have a little salt to mix in with that sweetness. Still, I can't book you in with our dear Romeo, even if it's just to chill together. The problem with his, well, you know, has gravely affected his mental health. Trust me, he's a total mess right now.
Maybe talking about it with someone he knows might help?
Oh no, we have professionals for that, dear. I'm sure it'll all be resolved in no time, but for now, I'm afraid you're going to have to pick someone else. Do you want me to list everyone who's available at the moment?
I'm not sure how I feel about seeing someone other than Romeo right now. Don't get me wrong, I've never had a problem with anyone else I've hired before, but I've been hearing some worrying rumors lately.
What rumors? Believe me, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. We'll take real good care of you here. I promise. All our performers are fully trained and cleared to carry out contracted work with utmost professionalism. Can I tempt you to a surprise package instead?
I tried that earlier and they said no.
I don't know about that.
Well, come on. It'll be fun. Don't you fancy a bit of spice in your life?
I suppose it might make things more interesting.
Precisely. So, can I consider that a yes?
Go on then.
Fabulous! Am I correct in thinking you'd like them sent over ASAP?
Yeah, please, if you can.
That shouldn't be a problem at all. If you just buzz your payment over as usual, I'll get a team on it as soon as the transaction's been confirmed, okay?
Yep, sure, I'll get that sent now.
Great. Can I help you with anything else today?
No, that was all I wanted. Cheers.
Cool. I'll love you and leave you for now. As always, your custom is much appreciated. Thanks for choosing Deadly Desires. Don't forget to have yourself a deadly day now.
Uh-huh. With little to do but wait after hanging up, you sit patiently on the sofa for your surprise to arrive. Actually, can we save now? Is this saving? Yes. We got it. Okay. Exhausted by the effort involved in making the booking, you close your eyes, sighing softly to yourself as you drift off to sleep. Later that day... Why was that knocking so aggressive? A sudden knock at the door penetrates your dreamless slumber as your body rockets upright with a jolt. For a moment you panic, hastily glancing at yourself, cursing for not having showered before the arrival of your mystery guest. Inhaling deeply with anxious anticipation, you rush to the door to greet the stranger, along with the dreary drizzle so frequent in your district. Hey.
Hello. You ordered a surprise package, right? Well, surprise.
Stood before you is a being unlike any you've encountered before while using the service. Something about the sullen shine in his eyes both excites and unsettles you. Introduce. Right, yeah, that was me. I'm Alessa. It's nice to meet you.
Pretty. I'm afraid mine's a bit of a mouthful, so feel free to just call me Eris, if it pleases you.
Eris is a pretty name too. I don't think I've ever met anyone called that before.
It's short for Erisithan, a somewhat distasteful joke on my parents' part. Limos Erisithan is my full name, but I prefer Eris. Makes things much more simple. So, are you planning to invite me in? Or would you rather we conduct our contract on your doorstep? I don't mind either way, but I find my scales disagree with the acidity of the rain.
The rain is acidic? What the heck? Leave! Invite him in. Right, of course. How rude of me. Please, come in. Beckoning Ares into your apartment, you step to one side, allowing him to pass. When he shakes the rain from his scales, you find your senses aroused by his pleasant aroma. Something almost sweet about it lingering in the air around him. Almonds, maybe? Perhaps mixed with cherries or a similar bittersweet bouquet? Can I get you a drink or anything? You ask tentatively, unsure whether his kind even consumes beverages in the way humans do.
If you're making something.
Is tea okay? Or I can whip you up a coffee if you need a pick-me-up.
Either is fine. I'll have whatever you're having.
Coffee it is, then. The silence between you is awkward as you make a start on brewing you both a drink. Ares certainly seems like he could use the caffeine. Of all the Deadly Desires representatives you've ever encountered, Ares has to be the least energetic. So, your scales...
What about them?
They're snake-like. They're so shiny. Oh boy. Let's go with that. They're so shiny. It's almost like they're glowing.
I'm surprised you noticed. Most people don't care for it, though. I'm not even sure why I bother.
Oh, I don't know why it skipped. He uses a special glitter. That's kind of cool. Well, I think they make you look stunning. Perhaps it's merely your eyes playing tricks on you, but for a moment you could swear Ares' scales shine a little brighter.
I know you know what I am. I could see it in your eyes the moment you opened the door. So why don't you just go ahead and ask what you really want to ask?
What? Sorry. I didn't want to seem rude is all. It's not every day you encounter a Sithis? Scythe? If that's what you are, of course. I mean no offense if you belong to a different species. I would never dream of insulting you by referring to you as something you're not, because I know it must be awful to be associated with.
Allow me to stop you there before you dig yourself an even deeper hole. You were correct the first time. I am indeed one of the Sithis, and I'm well aware of the things people say about us.
Right.
What I am curious to know is how you recognize one of us. If you're inclined to indulge me, I'm sure the stories made us all seem like monsters, but you let me inside regardless.
I know Niard. I've heard rumors. Who the frack is Niard? Niard. Sorry. I'm sorry. Niard? Bruh. Why did they make that sound when I clicked on it? Oh, well, I'm not sure how familiar you might be with other Sithis in different sectors, but there's someone who hovers around the Sanctuary Support Line offices named Niard. They sometimes ambush me when I'm working.
Yes, I know of Niard.
Niard.
We haven't met personally, but if there's any truth to the gossip, they hardly seem like a shining example of our species. In fact, I apologize for any inconvenience they may have caused you. Sithis should never be so pathetic.
Interesting. I'm not sure I'd go as far as calling poor Niard pathetic. Desperate, maybe?
Isn't that the same thing? What kind of sorry excuse for a creature wanders around pestering people for compliments? It's disgusting. True Sithis don't beg, we take.
Okay. Right, but if Nyard needs praise or whatever to survive, it's not like they can force someone to cough up a compliment on demand.
You can forcibly extract anything from anyone, if you're skilled enough.
A dangerous glint in Ares' eyes sends a slight shiver down your spine as you wonder why you're even having this conversation. Anyway, I thought Sithis weren't allowed to work at Deadly Desires. Conflict of interest and all that.
Conflict of interest? You care to explain exactly what you mean by that?
Well, Sithis need something from others in order to survive, right? So how can an employer like DD trust them to put the client's needs before their own?
I'm impressed you'd even know that. You're absolutely right. But they made a special exception. Just for me.
How come, if you don't mind me asking?
You're quite the nosy little human, aren't you? I'm just that good.
Unsure how to respond to such a statement, you shuffle awkwardly towards him with the mugs of coffee in hand, carefully placing them on the table before gesturing for Ares to sit.
Speaking of which, did you have anything in particular in mind for how we should spend our time together? You got me booked for the rest of the day. So, I'm all yours.
Actually, I was wondering if you might have any ideas.
Oh, I have plenty. But I fear they may be somewhat too adventurous for your tastes.
Try me. Oh, what is that noise? I don't like that noise. I'm making bad decisions, aren't I? Oh, yeah? Try me. I'm not as innocent as you might think.
But your dossier said you've never hired a single performer for any sort of active perversion in all of the time that you've been a loyal customer. You don't... I'm not here to judge you.
You don't have to prove anything to me. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I know, but still, I want to know what you have in mind.
Very well. When I look at you, I see tension in every part of your body, dragging you down, dulling your senses, and drowning out your desires. I would aim to liberate you from those shackles and have you floating freely, enveloped in ecstasy.
Oh, good lord. And how would you achieve something like that?
Well, since you're human, it'd be all too easy. You have so many ways I can slide inside you, so many holes to fill, and juicy little spots to tease and torture.
Oh, what? Almost choking on Ares' claims, you drop your gaze to the ground.
Tell me, have you ever wondered what it's like to have dozens of appendages stuffed inside you, wriggling, writhing, all vying to deliver you to a state of euphoria?
Oh my gosh. Oh, he got his tongue out. I can't say the thought has ever crossed my mind, no.
Well, would you like to find out right now?
Well, we're heading down this path, aren't we? Don't tease me. Please don't tease me, Ares. It's mean.
Who says I'm teasing you? You paid for me to be here. It was a perfectly honest question. I already told you. I'm all yours. You're free to do with me as you please. Within reasonable limits of our contract, of course.
Then yes, I do want to know what it feels like.
Are you certain? If we do this, there's no going back. You'll never find satisfaction with another again.
Well, you're so sure of yourself, aren't you? I'm sure. I don't care. Just do it.
As you wish. I'll try my hardest not to hurt you, but I'll warn you now. It may become somewhat overwhelming for you. If that happens, please use the safe word monster, and I'll end it immediately.
Do I need to undress or anything?
Only if you want to. but it's not entirely necessary. I can enter all your access points easily enough. It might make things more comfortable for you if we begin with you lying on the floor, though.
What the heck? Right, okay. Scarcely able to believe what's happening, you cautiously position yourself on the ground of your apartment. Anxiety building as you gaze up to Ares, towering over you.
Ready?
The word yes catches in your throat as you try to speak, and so you give him a firm nod of confirmation instead.
You might want to close your eyes. In fact, here, put this on.
Handing you a blindfold seemingly produced from thin air, Ares smiles warmly. Doing as commanded, you screw your eyes shut tightly, donning the blindfold while wondering if this was such a good idea after all.
Good. Then let's begin.
Oh, I don't like that sound. Your body twitches slightly in response to the first of Ares' tendrils grazing your skin, followed by another, then another. Some of them are silky soft, smooth and cool, while others are much rougher, almost sharp, producing a strange sensation of both light but scratchy and heavy but firm pressure on your flesh. As the army of appendages goes to work, massaging your body from head to toe, you notice others crawling across the surface of your skin, wrapping themselves around your wrists, abdomen, and ankles before constricting without warning. The shock of the sudden binding forces a small gasp of surprise to escape your lips. You can't see him, but you sense Eris move closer in response to the sound.
How does it feel so far?
Good, I guess. Struggling to maintain an air of composure in such a compromised position, you stutter out a response, discerning Eris' smirk despite your current lack of vision.
Shall I proceed?
As if attempting to coax an answer out of you, Eris' tendrils dance double time across the surface of your skin, pulsating and quivering. Yes.
Come on now. I know I'm nothing more than a toy for hire here, but where are your manners?
The tendrils wrapped around your extremities tighten even further, tugging at each end to spread your body wider before him as he asserts control in opposition to his claim. Grimacing at Eris's dominant behavior, you grit your teeth, somewhat defiant. A small snort of amusement emanates from above you as the tendrils shift once more, strengthening their grip on your body and forcing you upwards until you're face to face with Eris.
I never had you pegged as feisty, and lustful too. Looks truly can be deceiving.
Enrobed in darkness, you feel his forked tongue flicking the air around your neck, sampling you.
Your sweat tastes like cardamom. So, do you want me to continue or not?
Yes. Oh, good lord. Part of you wants to deny him the satisfaction of saying yes, but the longer you hang there, body suspended in silence, the more Eris orders his tendrils to stroke and probe each sensitive area, leaving you struggling to stifle a series of moans. Yes, please. You manage to mutter in a somewhat undignified manner.
That wasn't so difficult, was it? Just remember, little human, you asked for this.
With an alarming shift in movement, Eris holds you firmly in front of him while simultaneously sending a majority of his tendrils shooting straight up inside you, penetrating every inch of your being. You had thought he might take things more gently, but the sheer impact of his savage assault leaves you crying out in agony, gasping for breath.
Oh, such a fuss. Was that too rough? My mistake.
Come
I was under
on!
the impression you could handle it. You know what they say. You can't have pleasure without a little pain. I promise I'll go easier on you from now on.
What a time to be interrupted. And it apparently, yeah, this is some really interesting noises, but, I don't know, it clicked or something when I was putting the mouse down, so now I'm gonna have to read what was previously there. Oh my gosh, these sounds, I can't. As jarring as Ares' forceful entry was, it doesn't take long for your strained groans to subside, evolving into moans of ever-increasing ecstasy at the sensation of Ares skillfully stirring up your insides. Ashamed at your own reaction to Ares' stimulation, you desperately attempt to suppress each sound escaping your lips, only to find your plans thwarted by his tendrils working your body even harder, twisting and thrusting, pulsing and prodding.
I want to hear you moan for me, little human.
The fierce undulation of Ares' army of tendrils within you produces a disturbing squelching sound from deep inside you as fluids seep lewdly from your body, dripping onto the floor of your apartment.
You're making a mess.
It's your fault.
I know, but it never fails to amuse me seeing how moist and slippery your species can be. Your kind calls us snakes, shrinking away in fear of some slimy entity, callous and cold-blooded. But I'm as dry as a desert. You're the slimy ones. It's a wonder we don't refer to you all as snails. I mean, look at you. Your clothes are sopping wet. You're actually leaking. Congratulations. You might just be the juiciest little human I've ever encountered. Now, I ask you to make more of those delightful sounds for me.
Rendered incapable of denying his request, you resume moaning softly through ragged breaths, only to find your lips smothered by Ares's. He steals every one of your screams as though feasting on your lustful exclamations like a lion gorging itself on a fresh kill. With every pilfered cry, you feel weaker and weaker, while Ares' own animalistic groans of satisfaction grow stronger by the second. Something isn't right with this. With him. Summoning every last ounce of vigor in your soul, you scream the safe word, your voice still muffled by Ares' lips.
I'm sorry, my dear. Did you say something?
For an instant, he retreats, giving you precious moments to breathe. Monster! I said monster.
Are you referring to me, or have you had enough?
I can't take it. I want you to stop.
Understandable. Fair play to you for holding out this long. Don't worry, I always save the best part for last.
What do you mean? I just want you to make it stop.
Oh, I will soon enough. But you rather rudely interrupted me before I've had my fill. So I'm gonna need you to confess something to me first.
Quivering apprehensively in his grasp, you're almost afraid to ask what it might be. What is it? Inching closer once more, Ares pauses, lips grazing your ear, his balmy breath further dampening your skin.
Your love.
Huh? I don't understand. Tearing the blindfold from your face, Ares glares, his amethyst eyes glimmering in the faint light of your apartment.
It's not complicated, little human. I'm commanding you to confess your love for me. It doesn't concern you. If you want me to end it, then tell me you love me.
Hesitant to speak those words when you hardly know the creature, you weigh upon your options. On one hand, is it really that bad of a price to pay to make him stop? But on the other, why should you say something you don't feel you mean? Confess? Fine, I love you. There, I said it. Now will you please just pull your creepy tendrils out of me?
What was that supposed to be? I've never heard such a pathetic, passionless excuse for a confession in all my life. Did you honestly think that would be enough to satisfy me?
But you said...
Again, properly this time. And don't forget to use my name. I want you to at least sound like you actually mean it.
In a feeble attempt to gather yourself, you take a breath, fading faster with each passing second. If you don't say it now, you might not have the strength to speak at all. Eris.
Yes?
I want you to know that in the brief time we've been together, I've come to realize something.
Go on.
We may be practically strangers, but my feelings for you are undeniable. You've ignited a fire in me that I never even knew was there.
And?
No one has ever come close to making me feel the way you have. Everything about you is intoxicating. I love you, Eris, more than anything.
There it is at last.
Inhaling deeply, absorbing every one of your words, Eris sighs contentedly. Was that better? It was enough, right? You'll stop now?
It was one of the better ones. I'll give you that much. Sour, like citrus. I'd hoped for something sweeter, but I suppose this will have to suffice.
Instead of removing his tendrils from inside you, the army acts in unison, surrounding all of your vital organs. What are you doing? You promised you'd stop.
I didn't promise anything, little human. And I prefer not to double dip with my dinners. So I'm afraid I no longer have a use for you. Since you were kind enough to provide me with a confession, I'll make this quick.
No! Eris's tendrils tighten like rope around your heart, strangling your spirit.
Farewell. If it makes you feel any better, you were tastier than some of my more recent snacks.
And with that cruel admission, Eris's tendrils cradle your heart forcefully in their spiny grasp as barbs protrude from half of them, puncturing your most precious organ. In mere seconds, your soul is torn asunder, leaving your lifeless body drained and broken on the floor of your apartment. That was fun. Deadly confession.
Welcome back, operator. Please be patient while the system analyzes your outcome.
The outcome's great.
Connecting to your assigned administrator.
Welcome back, operator. I hope you're not too shaken after such an encounter. However, it would be remiss of me to not point out that the demise of your selected soul was entirely your doing. My readings show that your actions were so misaligned with its core character that the result was, well, catastrophic. Although, if it was your intention to lead your soul to doom as a means of punishment, then you have succeeded most spectacularly. The end result is subjective. Perhaps this is exactly what was deserved. The administrators take no issue with your performance. Please, proceed. But before you do, I must ask, do you approve of this outcome?
Oh, yikes. What happens if I say yes? No.
Your objection has been noted.
Congratulations on uncovering a new outcome, operator. If required, please take a break and proceed with your work when ready.
Alright, let's do one more. How about that? Oh wow, that's interesting. shows the CG you get. Okay, we're here. I want to press 4. I just want to see what happens.
You're through to the funeral bookings department. Before an agent is assigned to take your details, please keep in mind that you may only arrange a funeral with one of our packages if you're booking the experience for yourself. In order to arrange a funeral, you must be able to provide us with confirmation that your chosen experience includes a will, and that your playmate is authorized to perform executions within their contract. Cremation comes as standard with the package. Caskets cost extra. If you're happy to proceed with these terms, please enter your booking number, full name and address, and an agent will be with you shortly to help coordinate your experience.
Can't help but sigh at the fact such a service even exists. Yeah, no. Alright, we're doing number 5 then.
Here at Deadly Desires, we aim for perfection. If you're not entirely satisfied with an experience you had with us, please do describe the problem you encountered, and a customer service representative will be in touch with you. If we agree that your experience did not meet our exceptional standards, a new experience will be arranged for you.
I bet no one actually has the balls to complain. Anyways, this isn't the option for bookings. What was number 3 again?
Celebrate your special day with one of our packages tailored to your taste. Or for a cheaper, less entertaining experience, you could choose from the following packages. We're sorry, but all our special services packages are currently sold out due to high demand. Should you wish to book for a specific time in the next millennia, please call back and ask to speak to one of our special representatives.
You're probably right. You're probably right about that. I'm not exactly looking for adventure. I just want to keep my head down and serve my sentence so I can move on to whatever they send me next.
Then you're wiser than most who are stuck here. I can understand the need for stimulation in such a tedious prison, but the residents have rather taken that want to excess in recent times. It's a wonder the place hasn't fallen apart already.
Let's agree. Why am I doing it right or wrong? It is a little disturbing now that I think about it.
And there lies the problem. People don't think. They just do. No wonder our district is in such a desperate state. Honestly, it's a miracle anyone can find true love anymore, with so many surrendering to their predilection for debauchery.
Well, I don't know if you can really blame anyone for that. We're all trapped here in one giant waiting room. It's not so strange that people have gone a little stir-crazy.
True, but there's an existence out there beyond Limbo. A before and an after. Each stage is a waiting room in itself. And as we shift from one plane to another, we only spiral downward, towards desire and destruction. Not you, though. You're different. It's refreshing to encounter someone I see eye to eye with. We should probably drink our coffee. I wouldn't want it to go to waste after you went through all the trouble of making it.
Sipping on your drinks, the pair of you sigh simultaneously before catching each other's eyes. A slight smile of recognition forming on both of your faces. Unlike earlier, the silence between you is a welcome one, lingering comfortably in the air, accompanied by the calming aroma of the coffee you share. How is it? I can always make you something else if it's not to your taste. I've got plenty of herbal teas and stuff in the cupboard.
Thank you. That won't be necessary. This is perfect. Just like you.
Taken aback by the abruptness of Eris's statement, you feel your cheeks flush a little before you begin to wonder if it was nothing more than empty flattery. You did pay for his company after all. Oh, jeez. Return the compliment. We're being nice. glad you like it. You know, you're not half bad yourself, Ares.
Stop. You're making me blush.
As if. I'm sure all your clients probably shower you with plenty of praise. You must be sick of hearing it by now.
If only that were the case. The more common scenario I tend to encounter involves being told to shut up, suck this, or fondle that.
That's awful.
Believe me, being offered a coffee is a rare courtesy in my line of work. If I'm lucky, I might just about manage to squeeze in a snack on the job. Half the time, I go hungry.
As the evening swiftly shifts into night, several mugs of coffee later, you feel confident enough to ask Ares about his work. Have you worked with Deadly Desires for long?
I've dipped in and out of their employment for a while, so it's difficult to say, but I've seen my fair share of clients. More than enough to curate an entire catalog of horrors. But I'm not about to burden you with that.
As if to suggest not to press him on the matter, Ares swiftly avoids your pitying eyes, instead choosing to immerse himself in the coffee, swilling it in his mouth before a smile returns to his lips.
It really is quite delicious.
Not wanting to make Ares uncomfortable, but concerned for his well-being, you smile back, drinking the last of your coffee while trying to come up with a sensitive way to probe him on the subject of his work. This might be a really stupid question, so I'm sorry if the answer is obvious or something I shouldn't even be asking at all. Please, just tell me to shut up.
What is it?
Why do you work for them when you're treated so terribly? There must be some sort of other job you can do while you're here that isn't quite so, well, the soul-destroying.
I don't know about that. I'm hardly gonna spend my incarceration wasting away in some sorry excuse for an office. That's enough to drive anyone insane. At least like this, I have some semblance of freedom.
But still, it's not right that people treat you like a tool to just use to fulfill their fantasies.
Oh, it's awfully kind of you to be concerned, but I assure you, I can look after myself. I may not earn enough to stop me from starving, but it's better than whatever else is on the table. And besides, I met you. So it can't be all bad now, can it?
You feel your cheeks begin to burn again at his words, and so you shuffle awkwardly on the sofa as he, too, sips the last of his coffee.
In truth, I only offered them my services because I thought I might stand a better chance at meeting someone special doing this sort of thing. You see, Limbo's zero tolerance for workplace romance makes things laborious for me. With Deadly Desires, I can live life here in a loophole. Day after day, I remind myself I'm still alive. My clients can try to tear down the walls, but I'm the king of my own castle, you know? I may be stuck on repeat, but at least I'm standing.
Is it really worth it, though? To me, it sounds like working there does you more harm than good.
Sure, my hours are filled with sin. And so what? It's an acceptable means of survival. I refuse to become like others of my kind. Abandoned, left scratching at their scales like lost little junkies.
Eris,
Since you're so interested in Sithis, I'll let you in on a secret. Something you won't find in media reports or library books.
Honestly, Eris, you don't have to if it's a sensitive subject.
I should clarify for the purpose of the following explanation, in case you're unaware. To the Sithis, when we reference our hearts, we are speaking of something inside us, more akin to what humans refer to as souls.
Right.
Each and every one of us is born with a hole in our hearts. It is our curse to carry for offending our old gods long forgotten. It's this affliction that causes our insatiable hunger. Some of the more scientifically inclined members of our species have spent eons attempting to discover a cure, but to no avail. We are demonized in all societies, cruelly labeled leeches, vampires, and snakes. But the truth is, We are simply incomplete. That is why we suffer.
So, one more coffee. What happens if we hug him, though? Okay, we're hugging. Feeling as though words couldn't possibly convey your empathy for Eris, you elect to embrace him instead, hoping a hug might somehow soothe his pain.
What are you doing?
A part of you wonders if you should retreat in case you've accidentally upset him, but your instincts drive you to hold him even tighter, squeezing a soft sigh of satisfaction from Eris's lips.
I'm supposed to be here for you, not the other way around.
Do you want me to stop? You speak softly, your voice muffled by your head pressed firmly into his chest.
Huh? No.
Returning your embrace, Ares wraps his arms around you, ensnaring you in a vice-like grip, burying his head in your hair, breathing you in. He's breathing in my left ear.
You smell so good. I could almost eat you, but you deserve so much better than that little human.
The amorous longing in Eris's comment unnerves you. Not enough for you to blurt out the words rushing through your mind, but enough to cause you to pull away in panic.
Please, don't let go.
Only to find yourself frozen in his grasp, growing tighter by the second. Aside from the cautious creaking of your bones, something doesn't feel right. The sensation is so strange that you lack the words to describe it, but it seems as though parts of you are being pulled. No, torn from you. Eris, you're hurting me. Frightened for your life as your body bends in Eris's clutches, you cry out, hoping to reach him. The moment the words hit him, Eris's eyes go wide in a mixture of shock and horror, causing him to release you with urgency, stepping back some distance as though to prove his innocence.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me.
It's okay. I'm not injured or anything, so please try not to.
No! It's not okay! How could it possibly be okay? After everything you've done for me. And this is how I...
Honestly, it's all right, Ares. I know you didn't mean any harm, and look, I'm fine, see? Refusing to remove his gaze from the ground, Ares mumbles to himself incoherently while you stand there, troubled by the intensity of his outburst.
How could you? To her, of all people, you almost ruined everything.
I did it again. What's wrong with you? Where's your self-control? Ares, I understand what you're saying, but I promise you, everything is okay. So please, will you just talk to me?
You're never gonna want to see me again after this, are you?
What?
Before you answer, I'd appreciate it if you could spare me any half-hearted excuses. I'm only interested in the truth.
Well, I don't want to say this because I would want to see him again. I don't care, silly. Well, the truth is, I don't care, silly. Which is exactly what I've been trying to tell you.
But how? How could you stand to be around me?
Look, you made one tiny misstep, is all. I'm not going to hold it against you, so you shouldn't beat yourself up about it either.
Huh?
We've had a nice enough time together, haven't we? Why would I throw it all away over something as insignificant as that?
You're too kind for your own good.
Before you can offer up any sort of response, the brief silence between you is broken by an insistent ringing.
I'm so sorry. It's me. I can't believe it's that time already.
Reaching for his phone in a panic, contrasting his previously maintained composure, Ares declines the call. When you realize it's just past midnight, you can scarcely believe your entire evening with Ares is already about to end. A small part of you hopes perhaps he might be able to stay a little longer. Was it anyone important?
Not really. Just my next client. I'll call back when I'm outside.
But won't they be mad if you ignore them?
Perhaps, but it's a price I'm willing to pay, if it means spending a few more minutes with you.
No. A soft smile spreads across your face as you begin to blush a little at his corny remark. Well, it's been a pleasure to have your company, Ares.
Likewise. Is it tragic that I don't want to leave? You know, I've enjoyed our time together immensely. Seeing you has made every awful appointment I've ever endured worth it.
I don't know about that.
I mean it.
Unsure how to take such a grand compliment, you shuffle awkwardly on the spot.
You'll ask for me again tomorrow, won't you?
Of course. You blurt out, surprised to hear him request such a thing when you had been half wondering if his high opinion of you had been an act this entire time.
Good. That's good. Oh, but don't call for me by name, okay? I know it sounds silly, but it's important. For some reason, I get a higher fee if I'm sent out on surprise package orders. If you just request another surprise, I'll make sure they send me.
Right, will do.
Then I'll look forward to it.
The pair of you stand awkwardly in silence for a moment. Ares hesitant to walk away, and you reluctant to let him go.
Well, I suppose I better be off before I get an earful. I'll see you again sometime tomorrow, little human.
As Ares walks towards the door, you watch him, wondering if he'll be okay. Wait.
Huh?
And so you run after him, wrapping your arms around him in a brief hug, attempting to convey your concern.
Whatever did I do to deserve someone as wonderful as you,
With a somber smile on his lips, Ares strokes your hair, his pointed nails shooting tiny jolts of joy through your body as they lightly dance across your scalp. When the pair of you retreat from one another, you realize it's not only you that's blushing.
Sweet dreams. Believe me, I'll be counting down each second until I see you again.
And with that, Ares turns on his heels, disappearing into the neon-soaked streets. Sighing to yourself as you retreat back into the safety of your apartment, you begin to replay all of your memories of your time with Ares in your mind. A smile forms on your face as you recall his elation at your last-minute embrace. Something about him seems so different from any other Deadly Desires performer you've had the pleasure of spending a while with. Romeo is amazing and never fails to make you laugh with his inflated tales of his conquests and the trials and tribulations of living as an incubus in Limbo. But you always felt as though he maintained a form of professional distance with you, unlike Ares, who appeared unguarded. When in the company of others from the organization, you can tell that you were playing a part, even if their mannerisms were still pleasant. Ares seemed more authentic somehow, if a little jaded. Part of you wants to stay up all night dwelling on your day, but you feel the pull of your bed beckoning you to pass your time without Ares in the realm of dreams. Crawling under the covers, you close your eyes, hoping to relive as much as possible of your encounter with Ares by falling fast asleep. Next day. I swear, if he's dead, I'ma fight somebody. I'm not gonna lie. Upon awakening the next day, you immediately brew your usual beverage of choice and flick on the radio to catch up on any news you might have missed.
Reports suggest this latest disappearance occurred when the performer was en route to an appointment.
It's him, isn't it? Stop it! I knew this!
Lydia Greavestock, long-term partner of the seemingly vanished Redpole, known famously for their enthusiasm and endurance as an escort, raised the alarm when they failed to make their usual check-in with her upon arriving at their scheduled destination. Ms. Greavestock says she knows with certainty that her partner never made it to their appointment, claiming that the tracking device she installed on Redpole's phone shows they went missing somewhere in the Setonian slums.
So is it not
a
him?
dangerous district on the border of the Arcadia sector, designated as a no-go zone by administrators. Ms. Greavestock admits that Redpole's activity in the area wasn't unusual, as they frequented the red zone to stock up on supplies for work. The question remains, is Redpole's disappearance an unhappy coincidence considering the high crime rate ascribed to the area? Or could it be yet another case connected to the string of vanishing Deadly Desires performers? We'll have more on that and our other top stories shortly. But first, have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes at Administrator HQ? If so, stay tuned for our revealing interview with Administrator Acuros right after this quick break.
Okay, so he's okay?
Before the slew of irritating adverts begins, you swiftly switch off the radio. Seems like these incidents are getting closer and closer to home. You mumble to yourself, mulling over the latest headline. Somewhat concerned, but still largely unfazed as you pick up the phone to call Deadly Desires. What is this? Oh, it's the end of the demo. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. 7 endings. Yes, yes. So it doesn't count towards the 7. Eh? Oh, okay. Okay, so full version, late 24, maybe 25. Oh, I hope it's soon. I really like this. I really can't wait though, such as Limbo line. That's tempting. I'm not gonna lie. Aww. I like Aries. He's so cute. I like it. I know that apparently didn't count as an ending, but I don't know if I want to do any other endings because they're all bad, right? What's a good one? Because this didn't count as one, but there is a, I don't know. Oh, whoa. Okay, it's friggin' trippy. I'm not gonna lie. That's really trippy. I know I didn't get many CGs, but let's just look at the extras. Memories. Oh, so tempting. I might do this. Off recording. I'm just gonna leave it here. So I think this is pretty unique. I don't think I've seen a game like this, or at least that does it the way this one does. I don't know. It's really unique, and I want to play more of it. And I'm sad this is just a demo, because I really do want to keep playing more of this. I want to know what happens. So, and this is such a banger. These songs are great. I like everything so far. This is really right up my alley. I really like this. I don't know how many times I'll say that. All right, so I will leave a link to the game page in the description. Y'all can take a look and see everything that they've listed. You can download it, all that. They've got like credits. I think there's like more credits than what they, or maybe not, I don't know. But I believe there's links and stuff like that. Here is the credits. Yeah, for more details, you see the game page. So again, I will link it in the description so y'all can check this game out and get the other endings that I did not get, and get the CGs that I didn't get either. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Love Starved. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.